Hi, my name is LaShawn J, and welcome back to my channel. Guys, I'm really feeling under the weather today. I have a cold, I have a sore throat, but I still wanted to come and give this review because it was a really good episode yesterday. So please bear with my voice. It is a little hoarse. I'm just starting to get it back, so please bear with me. So we're gonna be doing a review on Love After Lockup, season 4. And this episode is called Red Flag After Red Flag After Red Flag. So first, I want to talk about Gabby and Chris because they really didn't have too much going on in this episode, and this is when the two of them stopped filming. So I'm just going to talk about them first. So Gabby and Chris pop up at Gabby's mom's house, and she doesn't seem like she knew they was coming. She seemed surprised. So she had a bit of an attitude. So Gabby's like, "Hey, I brought you a surprise." And she's like, she turns around, she's upset. She was like, "What are y'all doing here?" And she's like, "Hey, I brought you a surprise." And what she was like, basically like, "Hi, okay, bye, y'all can leave now." Chris was like, "So I thought I was gonna get some food or something to eat first." Gabby was eating a banana, and she gave Chris a piece of a banana, not a banana, a mango, and she gave Chris a piece of that mango. And Gabby's mom is like, "Okay, well, you had a piece of a mango, you could leave now, bye." So he was just like trying to soften her up. He was like, "Hi, miss, whatever, how you doing?" Trying to soften her up. So she's like, "Okay, what's going on? Why did you get arrested?" He's like, "Well, I got arrested because there's a weapon. The cops stopped the car and there was a weapon in the car. I didn't have nothing to do with that weapon. The weapon was just in the car when the cops stopped the car, and I so happened to be there." And she was like, "You got 7 years for just that?" And he was like, "Well, I had some other charges that um I was doing robbery. I was robbing people." And she's like, "Okay, so what about the cheating?" He's like, "I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. The girls was texting me, say, 'Hey, welcome home, da da da. You're back home. How you doing? Welcome back home.'" And all I was responding back was, "Thank you, thank you." Gabby blew it out of proportion. I already explained to her I was not cheating. We settled that. Everything is good now. She was like, "But you didn't explain it to me. You didn't apologize to me." He was like, "Okay, I'm going to apologize to you now. I want to apologize for any misconceptions that y'all took of thinking that I was cheating." So she looks at him and she looks at Gabby and she's like, "Gabby, you really believe he wasn't cheating and you really believe he's not going to be cheating no more?" And she said, "Y'all two are just two clowns away from being a whole circus. Y'all are clowns. And I'm tired of y'all." She told WeTV that she wants Gabby to slap Chris in the face with a divorce papers. She needs to just get divorced and get done with Chris. So she told Gabby and Chris, "I already said hi. You ate a piece of a mango. Now it's time for both of y'all to go. I'm going to sleep. Good night." The next scene we see with Gabby, we see her by herself. She's walking through the park and she's explaining the altercation between her and Chris. She says that Chris was texting females on the phone and being disrespectful to her. She asked him kindly to leave her house. He said, "I'm not leaving. This is my house. I paid for this." And they started getting physical with each other. She said all she could have did at that time was call 911 and put the phone in her pocket so that the police knew what was going on and could come and find her. And that's when she got him arrested. She put a restraining order on him. He's not supposed to contact her, but he is still trying to contact her for her to drop the charges. She says she's not going to drop the charges. And he broke her teeth, he broke her bones, and it was just really bad. So as you can see, the mother was right in that situation where Gabby should have just stopped dealing with Chris, um, and leave the situation as that. Unfortunately, that happened, and we're really sorry about that. So now I want to move on to Nathan and Skylar. So last episode, Nathan was really aggressive with Skylar. Um, we see Skylar. She's folding clothes. She's like getting laundry together so she can go do her laundry. And she tells the TV crew, "Hey, well, we didn't really even talk about it. We didn't really settle the situation. We kind of just like ignored it and went on with the day. He really wanted to go to work, and I didn't really want to push the subject, so we didn't really get to talk about it." They show Nathan. He's with his cousin, and I guess he was cutting down a tree, cleaning the brush, and I think he's a landscaper. I think his job is landscaping. So him and his cousin are talking about the whole situation when he took her to dinner, and immediately the cousin says something about his jealousy. So it seems like everybody knows the way he reacts to when in situations where he's jealous, and he really needs to get a grip on that because it's not good. Before it ends up being a whole Gabby and Chris situation, they need to get that over with. So he tells him, "Yeah, you need to relax on the jealousy. You gotta let it go. You gotta stop being so jealous." Um, Skylar went to her mom's to do laundry, and she tells her mother and her brother about the situation that happened. And they're like, "Well, yeah, the mom let it's red flags." And the brother's just like, "Y'all, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but you have to do stuff where it doesn't antagonize him and get him more jealous." And the mom is trying to tell her, "Hey, this is why you need to know who you're dealing with before you up and move with them." Before you up and move with them, you need to know a person way longer before you move with them, because you don't know what type of person they are. Skylar is just all she knows is that she's in love with Nathan and she wants to be with Nathan. She calls Nathan and she asks him to meet her at a park so they can sit down and talk about what happened, because they never cleared the air. They don't want to ignore the situation and then another situation happened. So they sat down at the park and Nathan kind of explains to her, "You know what? I waited a long time for us to actually have a date. And we finally at the position where we can have a date. And you're constantly on your phone. I felt disrespected. I really wanted us to have this date. And on a date, you really should be paying attention to me, worried about me. That time was for me. So they basically hashed it out where he's going to control his temper. She's going to try to not do things to provoke his temper or make him more jealous than he already is. So, anyways, next we're going to go to Justine and Michael. So, Michael's in the house. He started a sneaker company, he said, before he went to prison. And he's trying to get some work done. The kids are in the background playing, and he's constantly telling them, "Hey, yo, can you stop? Can you sit down?" And they're playing, they're goofing around, which kids do, trust me, screaming, making a whole bunch of noise. But they're kind of older. I have a toddler, but they're kind of older to be making so much noise. But then again, kids are going to be kids. So he calls Justine and he's like, "What time you going to go back to work?" She's like, "When I get off my break." He's like, "Yeah, you need to come home. You need to come and handle these kids." And she's like, "Well, they're kids. I just learned to block them out." And trust me, when she said that, I believe her. Because if you have kids, you know how to block them out. Ignore what they're doing and concentrate on what you need to get done. Because if you got to stop every time to tell these kids stop, you ain't ever gonna get what you're trying to get done. You're not. You're just not. You gotta keep stopping your work, and then oh stop, go to another room, go in the closet, whatever it is. If you need to get your work done, ignore them kids. Get your work done. Go sit out on the porch. Like those kids is old enough to watch themselves. He could have walked to a cafe or to a park to get his work done. He don't gotta watch them. They look like 15, 16 years old. The youngest look at least 10. Come on. So she was like, yeah, I learned to block them out. Those are kids. I'm at the pharmacy. I'm getting me a few things, and I've been feeling sick, and I'll be home soon. So she's at the pharmacy saying she don't know what's wrong with her. She got a sore throat. She got a flu. She's picking up a whole bunch of things. So it diverses from the pregnancy test. Girl, we all been there. You just go pick up a whole bunch of things and then throw that pregnancy test in there. Like, I don't know what's going on. It might be the flu. It might be a cold. It might be strep throat, but it could be pregnancy. Okay, I think you know what's going on. You have 4 kids. He has 4 kids. Yeah, sorry, she has 3 kids. He has about 4 kids. I think at that stage, you know if you're pregnant or not. She knew from the beginning if she was pregnant or not. She probably is pregnant because I only got 2, and you know, okay? So she grabs a couple things, whatever. They hang up. She gets home. She's telling kids, all right, y'all go upstairs. Dinner gonna be ready soon. He's telling her, oh, you need to quit your job and you need to be at home with me. Stop giving people 8 hours of the day. You could have gave me these 8 hours of the day. What? So y'all just gonna be home and dependent on the sneaker company? Anyway, so she goes upstairs. She's putting the medicine in the cabinets, in the medicine cabinet, and she's like, she pops up the pregnancy test and shows it to him. And he's like, what? You're pregnant? She's like, I don't know. But if I am, that'd be 8 between us. And I'm like, well, she knows if she's pregnant or not. I believe she knows. But yeah. So next we're gonna talk about Ashley and Travis. Okay. Ashley and Travis. So Travis is laying in the bed, and Ashley is like, okay, babe, I'm coming in soon. Get nice and ready, get naked. He took off every ounce of clothing, and he's underneath the sheet, and he's just like, hey, there's gonna be a tent in here soon if you don't hurry up. So he doesn't hear from Ashley, and Ashley is just flipping out, going crazy, and telling the camera crew, get away from me, just give me a minute, get away from me. So he goes to find out what's going on, and she's basically saying the landlord gave her 2 weeks to get out. 2 weeks. He doesn't want a felon in his house, and he gives her 2 weeks to get out. This whole time, I thought that was Ashley's house. I thought she was living large and in charge. Don't tell me that's a rent a house. I thought this was Ashley's house. I was like, oh my goodness. She got the pool. She got 25 bedrooms, 6.5 baths. I thought that was hers. So he gave her 2 weeks to get out. Okay? She's going crazy. Travis is like, oh, let me talk. Let me just talk to the camera crew. No, she don't want him to talk to the camera crew. She don't want nobody to talk to the camera crew. Travis is like, okay, you know what? You're getting me mad. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna take a break. So then the next scene we see with the 2 of them, they're in a hotel. She's by the pool, and he's on the phone with his mom. So we see Travis on the phone with his mom, and he's telling his mom, we had to sell all Ashley things, and what we couldn't sell, we just left on the front porch. We left in the front yard. We didn't even have enough money for a hotel room. The landlord only gave us 2 weeks to get all her things out. So Ashley's by the pool. She's telling the camera crew she doesn't feel herself and how it's, it's her business was going failing. She wanted to live the American dream. She wanted to have the house and the car. She had a house that she couldn't afford with the pool. She had a car that she was leasing, and her jewelry company was going in the gutter. Mind you, she bought this man so many things, taking him on a boat ride, and just like it was a lot going on. So she's just really torn up about it. She said she wished she saved more money, and she was crying and everything. So Travis got off the phone with his mom, and he goes to meet her at the pool. And she's like, okay, are you going to get in the water with me? Help me blow up this floaty? And he was like, no, I'm hungry. We got to go meet up with my mom. I got to go meet up with parole. And she was like, you're not going to stay for me? Put it at her chest for me? And he's like, no, I got a lot of things to do. And she was like, I've been holding you down for 4 years. And now you don't have no time for me. That's crazy. And it's like, so Ashley, is this is what you was doing with your money? Is this why your business is failing now? Were you supporting an inmate for 4 years? Where you put him first instead of your business first? And now y'all are on the streets? You brought this man to a house. He had to switch up his parole from your house to his mother's house. You brought him here. You sold him a dream. And now he is nothing. He had to help you sell your stuff. You knew months ago that you might be losing the apartment. This is not something brand new to you. You knew months ago your business was going in the gutter. This is not new to you. So now an inmate who just got out of prison 4 days ago was supposed to get a job and support the two of you. How is that gonna happen? He has a record. Is no way he's gonna be able to get a job right away to support the two of you. So this is on you, Ashley. This has nothing to do with him. You chose to wait on him hand and foot. You made all these decisions and ignore your business. And now you're on the streets, about to move in with his mother. It's crazy. So next, I want to talk about Monique and Derek. Okay, guys, don't you see me chewing? I got a lozenge from my throat. So Derek left. He's outside. He's talking to the camera crew, telling them, "Hey, I think I kind of, I have a feeling of who it was in that car." Monique's on the phone with her sister, telling her sister, "Hey, yeah, girl, we got into a high-speed chase yesterday. I think it was Derek's sisters." And the sister was like, "That's crazy. Like, what do they want from him? Like, really, like, what do they really want from him? They want him to be single. They don't want him to be with Monique. What is the big deal?" So Derek goes, he makes a phone call. He starts talking about how, before he makes that phone call, he starts talking about how he might know who's in the car. He might know who's in the car. But when he was in jail, he was talking to a CO at another prison, and him and the CO kind of got close. He met the CO through his brother who was in prison, and they hooked him up. And him and the CO was kind of close, and she kind of thought it was something more, but they was just gonna be friends. So it's like I really think that's who it was. So he goes ahead. And he calls her, but he calls her block. So she answers the phone like, hello? It's like, was it you following me last night? And she was like, maybe. Was it you following me? You know, I know it was you because I know your car. I know everything about you. And she was like, yeah. You was the one, you was like, hurry up and get in the car. Drive, drive, drive. He was like, so why was you following me? If you see I got in the car, why would you still follow me? What y'all was trying to do something to me? Why? Why would y'all be still following me? He was like, if I wanted to do something to you, I would have did something to you. I was following you because to see what it was. Like, why you acting just like what I thought? Why you acting like you ain't know me? So he goes on. He was just like, yo, you know, me and you was cool, whatever. Did you see who was driving the car though? And she's like, yeah, I saw a girl driving the car. So he was just saying, basically telling her like, yo, we was cool, whatever, but it wasn't that serious. And she's like, but you need to stop playing with people. I was following you because you was playing with me. She was like, yeah, I was following you because you was playing with me. You led me on, basically. So he's like, I'm kind of worried for my safety because I feel like she's hurt and she might do something to hurt me. And I don't know. So he said, okay, I might have to go get Monique some jewelry, buy her ring. So he goes to a jewelry store to buy Monique a ring. He's looking at the rings. The jeweler's showing him some good rings. And he's like, you see this watch? I want a ring to match this watch. And his watch is all iced out and everything. So basically he wants a iced out ring for Monique. Because that's gonna be his I'm sorry that I lied and I was cheating on you ring. So he feels like he says he's gonna hold it and see how Monique acts. And depending on how she act, you know, then he's gonna give it to her, propose, whatever. So Monique is blowing up his phone while he's in the jewelry store, and he's like, "Yes, what happened?" And she was like, "What are you doing? I was just worried about you." Because she had already went and changed her car, got a new place, a new hotel room, and everything. So now she's like bored, basically. Like, what? I wonder what Derek's doing. What is he doing? She texts him. He didn't answer the text. So now she's calling him, calling me. He's like, I'm just handling some business. Wow, what happened? What's going on? Is somebody following you? She like, no, I don't feel followed. I don't feel anything. So, but what are you doing? And she's like, well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just handling my business. She's like, what are you at the bank? And he's like, yeah, I'm at the bank. So Derek sees two people coming through the door. So he hanged up on that phone real quick. It was his cousin and his brother. And he's hugging his brother. His brother's like, oh, I'm so sorry I wasn't there for your release because, his brother was in jail too. And he was like, yeah, I'm here buying my girl a ring, whatever the case is. And his brother was like, no, we need to get your head checked. You just met this girl. Let's go look at the chains over here because this is what you get somebody you just met 2 days ago. Not a ring. And he was like, nah, I'm about to be 30. I'm ready for this. This is what I want. He's like, she want a ring or you want to get her a ring? It was like, no, I'm ready for this. I want this. I want the next step. I'm ready to settle down. He's like, you did 10 years in jail and now the first thing you talk about is marriage? That's usually how it is. So he goes, they talking, they chilling, they hanging out. He's like, yo, we gonna go. We got everything set up. We gonna go to the house. Now I'm thinking it's the sister's house. And Monique don't want him with the sisters. The sisters don't want him with Monique. Again, it's always going to be confusion when it's like that. They just both need to accept it. Hey, he's going to go hang out with his sisters whenever he gets a chance. Hey, he's with her and that's who he wants to be with. Let's get over it. So he's like, yo, she's tracking me. I can't really go anywhere. So the brother's like, don't worry about it. I know how to take that tracker off. Don't worry about it. So her brother's about to take off the location off his phone, and they about to go hang out and have some fun. And it's true, he just got home. Let him have some fun, Monique. Let him hang out. He already cheating on you. You didn't know about it, so it's not too much bad he's gonna get into. We already cheating, so let that man live. The next, we're gonna talk about Eris and Cameron. So Eris and Cameron, they about to get married, basically. I see Cameron, he's about to order a drink. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take it light. I really want to drink, but I'm gonna take it light. Eris goes, she's bringing their daughter to meet Cameron, her daughter to meet Cameron, not their daughter, her daughter, for the first time. Her daughter's 9. She was on the flight by herself. She's like, oh, how was the flight? And she's like, kind of lonely. Mother, wish you was there, mother. But she picks her daughter up, bring her to meet Cameron at the hotel. The daughter is introduced to Cameron. He talks with her, like feels for her, hey, I'm about to be, me and your mom about to be together, da da da. And I'm just like, why are they putting so much on this little girl? She's only 9. Like, this, you just met this guy 2 days ago. You don't know him. You about to move him in with you and your 9-year-old daughter. Speechless. So they're talking. He's saying, hey, I'm not going to take the role of your father. How do you feel about me and your mother? I know I talk to you a lot on the phone, but now we're in person. It's going to be different. All of these things. So they get ready. They go to the bowling alley. They start bowling. They playing around. And, you know, the daughter, she says to WeTV, hey, when I first met him, before I thought he was going to be a little bit taller, but he's like right here to me. So, and she also says, hey, I don't know anything about calling him dad, but I will call him Cameron. And I feel like they just met each other. I knew they was eventually going to get married, but I did not think they was going to be married tomorrow. She didn't even know she was coming in for the wedding. She didn't know she was going to be the flower girl at the wedding. She thought she was coming to meet her mother's boyfriend for the first time. But then they popped, oh, we're getting married tomorrow. So they go, they bowl, they have a good time. Eris talks about um, her daughter's father, how he wasn't in her life, and he's deported out of the US, so he only saw her like twice. She really wants this family to work out and whatever. They show the next scene that the daughter and the best friend is in the hotel, and Eris, they have the wedding dress, and they're talking, and the makeup artist comes in, and she's like, yeah, we're gonna be getting our makeup done. She could have a little bit of lip gloss or whatever. Cameron and his friends take a picture of him. They're talking about, the wedding. He talks about his father not being in his life, not being there. I'm sorry, not being there for the wedding. He was very close with his father, and his father passed away right before he came out. He thought that when he came home, he was going to be seeing his father, not his father being passed away. He also talked about how they wouldn't let him even go to the funeral, so that was hurtful for him. So here we go, the wedding. Cameron's sisters, they walk out with a cutout picture of the father because the father couldn't be there. They're there. At least the sisters is there. Eris' father did not show up. Her mother did not show up. Only her best friend showed up because her father did not want her to marry an inmate, and he just was not with it. So Eris walks down the aisle or the parking lot alleyway. I don't even know. It looked like a parking lot. It was cars in the back. It was trees. It was concrete everywhere. It looked like they just was like, okay, this is a good spot. Everybody meet up right there, and we gonna do this. She walks down with her daughter. They go to the altar. They exchange vows. Eris had her whole speech written in her breast, close to her heart. She told him she's his ride or die. She down with it all. They pinky swear in front of the preacher lady and everything. So they get married. They cut their little cake. I'm just like, this is crazy. The WeTV is showing everybody else's faces. They're laughing. The sister, what's her name? It's two sisters, Stephanie, and the other sister is Kim. She was like, I think they're a perfect fit, even though they just met 2 days ago, laughing. You know, is everybody's just laughing at the situation because they just met each other and they're so desperate to get married. They're getting married in a parking lot, in the back of the hotel parking lot. It's crazy. Cameron pops champagne. He starts rapping. He's talking about the story of their life and their journey is going to be written in a book. I cannot. I cannot. Um, this episode was good, but I just do not agree with the whole parking lot wedding and getting married in 2 days and flying your daughter out here for this nonsense. You flew your child out there to be entangled in this nonsense? It's ridiculous. Eris needs to make better decisions with her child and herself. Um, but in all, congratulations to the married couple. And I would say this was a good episode. Um, hopefully it lasts. Um, it seemed like a joke of a wedding, just the setup and everything, but we'll see. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining my channel, and I'll see you next week for another review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.